say much. I'm going to introduce one of my best friends. I said this last time, he became my best friend in like 3 days, and that's rare. But he's the vice president of our company, Rob Burnett.
You know, it's when somebody special is asking kind words, it's just meant to be. I met Jordan, and we just became friends instantly. And I was very thankful for the opportunity to work with him because, like you'll find in anything you do, if you have a battle buddy or somebody you work with at work and you kind of sync and you become really good partners, it's great. But we have a great time, we have a lot of fun together, and that's what I encourage you guys to do tonight. Just, if we're a good fit for you, we'd love that. There's no arm twisting. Sarah and I have been friends for a very long time, and when I moved to Columbus from Alabama, she reached out to us and we'd always been friends. And I just found a home kind of with the Brenner Group because what we do, guys, is not really complicated. I don't really have a lot to say other than I specialize in risk management. And what that is for us as a company, it's either a part-time or a full-time position, it's on the road or it's from home. It just really depends on you, your personality, the book of business you want to build, and your specific skill set. If you're good on the phone like Christian is, I'm not going to ask you to go business to business if that's not what you're comfortable to do. So when you have a meeting with Sarah and you have a specific way that works for you, we'll find a good home for you. I'm going to introduce a lady real quick that doesn't really need an introduction, but Miss Sarah Marie Brenner, she's the founder of Brenner Group. She's the president of our company. She carries a lot of different insurance licenses. She's a personal friend, and if you hang around with us, she'll become that to you guys. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Miss Sarah Marie Brenner.
In front of the screen here. Well, thanks so much for coming. I want to make sure you have everybody else who's talked here. So this is Rob's contact information. If you do want to get in touch with him, that way you've got all of that. And of course, then here is mine, and I'm going to be talking with you tonight about a lot of different things. Rob is vice president of our risk management line, so he's real big on, as you heard, the ID Shield, Avenue, a lot of the other things surrounding that aspect. I have my life and health. My main focus is voluntary benefits. So I'm going to talk to you about that as well. And then my husband's also going to talk with you. He heads up our P&C, which is things like home and auto, things of that nature, commercial insurance, things like that. So we're all going to talk with you a little bit tonight so you can kind of see the different parts of our company and who we are and what we do and be able to get an idea of whether there's something here where you feel like there might be a nice fit. A lot of the things we do can kind of be done in tandem. So if you look at something and you say, gosh, I really like that position, but I really like what this one is too. Well, that's okay. Talk to me about it because, I do two things. I also do the risk management and when I go into small companies and help them with their voluntary benefits, I include that in my book of business. So there are a lot of ways we can kind of combine things. So as you're watching that tonight, as you're looking at things, hearing what all we have to say, kind of make mental note of those things, and we'll help you figure out what the best fit is for you. So the first thing that I want to really explain is why we're even here. What is it that we do? Why do we get up in the morning? What is it that is part of what the core is of who we are and why we exist as a company. I think if you don't have that, it doesn't matter what you do. It's very difficult to get up in the morning if you don't know why you're getting up and you don't feel like you have a drive to go and do something. And like Jack mentioned, if you have that drive and you have that passion to be able to help people, it doesn't matter what it is from the various things we offer, then that gives us a chance really to have that kind of motivation in the morning to get up and go out and make a difference in people's lives. So first, I just want to share a little bit about me so that you know. My path here kind of is sort of an odd one, I guess. I was raised in music and in theater, and so coming out of high school, I had a music lessons company. That was what I did for many, many years. I taught music, I played, I performed, I wrote, I conducted, I wrote curriculum, I worked with kids, I did all kinds of things. And that has nothing to do with any of this. But I learned a lot of skills that we've thankfully been able to really transfer over into what I'm doing now. But my big thing is I love to teach. That was my, big drive, is I love teaching. And now that's what I do all day, every day. It's different. I'm not dealing with 4-year-olds on a Suzuki method doing Mississippi Hop Frog with Kermit sitting up on the piano. It's not that anymore, but I still am teaching. It's just a whole lot different. And so that's part of why I'm still passionate about what I'm doing even now, because I still can take those skills and those things that I enjoy and make that part of it. So I'm not going to go through my whole bio, but this just kind of gives you an idea. Just finished up my master's. That was something that was quite a lot of work. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and so trying to keep a 4.0 through the whole thing was was the goal, and I got it done. So thankfully that's done, and I'll go back and get a doctorate at some point. But I do a lot of writing, especially in the HR field. I'm also a columnist for a site on a lot of HR topics. So those are things that help to kind of feather into what we do on the voluntary benefits side of things. So if you have any questions about my background, I can talk to you about it later, but that's my basic resume. So I said I was going to talk to you a little bit about why, right? Why we're here. If you've never read this book, Start With Why, I encourage you to pick it up. It gives you the encouragement to really think about why you're doing what you're doing. And it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing, but why are you doing it? Because if you don't have any kind of connection to why you're doing it, it's really going to be very difficult to do it for very long. The thrill of it will end in a week or 2 or 3, and if you don't have that connection to why, then it's not going to help. And that's one of the things as a company that we're really trying to focus on, is why are we doing what we're doing? Because otherwise you can be real excited, you can come in that first week, be all gung-ho, and then you get your first no, and now you've lost it because you're not connected to the why that's going to keep you going through all those no's, right? So that's a real important part of what we do. The 2 main things we do are taking better care of employees and helping people, and I'm going to kind of gloss over those for right now and get back to them as we talk a little more. So there are basically 2 divisions of our company. There's a consulting division where we are really just building this out. This one is kind of our newer piece. We have been doing marketing, social media, things like that for small businesses. That was actually what I did in between selling my music lessons company and starting this company, kind of in the process of figuring out what I wanted to do when I grew up. So that's still something that we help people with. But that's one side of our company, is human resources management. And then the other side deals with insurance and voluntary benefits, and then also products that look like insurance but aren't necessarily insurance products. So I'll talk to you about that a little bit as well, so that you have a better idea of how all that works. So one of the big ways that we're a lot different from our competitors is how we go about everything. How we get our foot in the door, how we go through the process of obtaining a new client. So if I'm with one of our competitors, chances are I'm going to walk in the door, and maybe Christian here is my business owner, and I'm going to walk in the door and there's Christian, and I'm going to say, hey, we sell disability and life insurance. All your employees really need it. Do you want some? And that's what a lot of them do. And very frequently that falls flat on its face, because all that I'm doing at that point is shoving product, right? I'm not helping anyone. I'm not doing anything to connect anything together for that person. And Christian's going to look at me and say, who's this excited, freaky lady, and send me right out the door, right? So we do things a whole lot differently. The big thing that we do as far as the how is that we're very consultative. We want to get to know the business owner. We do what's called a discovery at the first meeting with them, after we've gotten our foot in the door. And that discovery is learning about them. It's not going down through product, it's not giving a presentation, it's not saying, hey, we have this, here's all about it. Hey, we have this, here's how much it costs. Hey, we have this, how soon can you buy? That's not how we go through that first meeting. So what it does is it does a number of things. First of all, it allows us to learn about them so that we're actually offering them what they need. Not just trying to shove things down their throat that we get the highest commission on. But then it also builds trust, because they know we're there to actually help. I want to know what the problems are so that I can help fix them. That's why we're there. I'm not there to try to just shove something down their throat. And that's a big difference. A lot of companies that deal in insurance either are companies where you have to go door to door in neighborhoods and sit down at kitchen tables. I can't do that, so I would never ask anybody who works with me to do that. And then the other part of it is that a lot of times you'll be going in somewhere and it's just, hey, hit these 25 places today, come back and you better have sold 5 policies. We don't work that way. At the end of it, you're gonna get a lot more, you're gonna get a lot more in premium, you're gonna have much better relationships if you do things the way that we do it, with the whole process of really learning about them first. So how do we even get into that business? Leads, that's one of the biggest questions everybody always says. Well, you know, how do I get leads? How does that even work? There are some companies that charge you for leads. We do not. All leads with us are 100% free. You do not pay a penny for a lead, ever. The only time you would ever pay is if you choose to. If you choose to put up an ad somewhere on Facebook or wherever else and it's coming out of your pocket and you've chosen to done that, or to do that, fine. But you will never be asked to pay for a lead ever. The way that we do it is we have a database and we teach you how to use it that allows you to filter down everything that you need so that you pre-qualify all the companies to know that they're ones that you can work with the products that we have available. So we teach you how to use this database, how to pull everything, and then you have the company's names, you have the names of about, I'd say 70 or 80% of either the business owner or some executive within the company. Sometimes there's not a name, but usually there is. And now in these ages, you just go to their website, usually you can find who you need to ask for. Their address, their phone number, how many employees they have, their sales volume, what their industry is, their zip code, all kinds of things. So it's pretty easy to narrow that list down to get what you need. So those are your pre-qualified leads. They haven't been called before. That's part of the responsibility of that account manager, is to call on them either through a phone call or a visit or LinkedIn, however it is that you feel comfortable, and that's all part of our training. But you don't pay a thing for those leads, and I like to accentuate that because that's something a lot of companies make you pay for, and we do not make you pay for that at all. So we just teach you how to do it. Then there are, of course, all kinds of other opportunities. You can go to exhibits, you can do booths, you can become a chamber member, you can join a networking group. We're actually going to be starting our own networking group. That's something that we're even meeting about on Monday to start that conversation. We all kind of have our own little ideas, and we're going to sit down and put all those together and start our own. So that's something that we're going to have available, but that's for another time. But there are all kinds of other ways too that you can meet people other than just that pre-qualified leads list, but we do offer that. And then the process of contacting those leads then might be a phone call, it might be that you're dropping into them, it might be you connect on LinkedIn and have a conversation, it might be that you send them a little pre-letter or postcard, it might be that you see what groups they're in, and then when you join that group, you find those people at that luncheon and you start the conversation that way. There's all kinds of ways that you can connect with those people, and that's part of what we help you through that training process, is to figure out who are you going to contact, how are you going to do it, what's the best way to go about it, and we help you with all that.